Punk Revolution now. Today we are going to be reviewing Jeff Rosenstock's newest album, No Dream. Ooh, what the hell does that mean, No Dream? Anyways, is it like he's sleeping? Anyways, so who's Jeff Rosenstock? Jeff Rosenstock is probably one of the most critically acclaimed musicians in the genre of pop punk. Okay, he's been involved in releasing some pretty high quality pop punk since the 90s. He got started in the 90s with his band The Arrogant Son of a Bitches, which was like a hardcore ska pop punk band. Genres that I think will turn a lot of people off, but frankly their album Three Cheers for Disappointment kicks ass. So if you want to listen to a good ska album, I highly recommend you check that out. But I think even though he never broke into the mainstream, like going into like the 2010s with his solo stuff, that's where he really just became like just super freaking critically acclaimed. His album Worry, massive. Also We Cool, also fucking fantastic. Just great anthemic power pop, pop punk, indie rock, explosive, happy fun power pop with depressive lyrics. The stuff we all like about pop punk. Cool stuff, just pushing the genre of pop punk, which is normally kind of a corny genre, kind of a corny childish genre. She's been showing the world you can do some pretty interesting stuff with the genre. So then he dropped this album, No Dream, out of freaking nowhere. So let's see what the fuck is going on with this album. Is it good? Is he still able to do this in 2020? Let's take a look at the album cover. So let me tell you my thoughts on this album cover. Frankly, not crazy about it, kind of forgettable to me. I don't like the cartoonish nature of it, but I do like the text where it says No Dream, because it's a little blurry, a little bit, kind of like rough around the edges, and I think that really taps into something that's going on in this music. Jeff Rosenstock, he has a high potential to sell out, okay? He's got a lot of resources, he's well known in the music industry, and he makes pretty poppy music. If he wanted to, he could totally freaking sell out and just make a ton of money if he wanted to. But here, you can tell by the album cover and just listening to this album, listen to the way this album is mixed. It's a little rough around the edges. The recording is a little bit rough around the edges, even though this was recorded by Jack Shirley, the same person who recorded and mixed Def Heaven's biggest, explosive albums. He's making an active choice to go a little bit more in the rough, anti-sellout direction. You press play on this album, what do you hear? This album opens hard and fast. We are hearing some hardcore influence make its way into this album while simultaneously utilizing kind of like lo-fi noise pop tones. Pretty exciting. Like, this is Jeff Rosenstock showing us off the bat he's interested in experimenting and doing something creative here instead of regurgitating the same crap he's done before. And it's exciting to me, okay? And there's a lot of creative ideas going in here, okay? There's a freaking breakdown and scram that sounds almost like a freaking childish, like, pop punk version of like a metalcore breakdown that it's kind of hard but also kind of playful at the same time. This album is very playful, simultaneously aggressive, like I said, with a little bit more hardcore punk influence coming in here to his usual power pop. A little bit of blast beats coming in here once in a while, which is kind of fucking sick. The title track, there's kind of this part where Jeff Rosenstock is singing in falsetto in a real dissonant way on top of the guitar line. Like he's not afraid to get a little bit eccentric here, get a little bit weird, get strange, get freaking and I love that. I love that. Okay, he's always been a little bit of a weird guy with his kind of off-pitch singing, but here he's just kind of embracing it, exploring it, kind of showing like he is still an artist at the end of the day. He's not selling out. And honestly, this album, I think him choosing to make this a little bit more rough than his other albums, it just feels so authentic to me, and I love that. I'd say this is my favorite Jeff Rosenstock album. I'm pretty impressed with it. Lots of bangers in here that just make you want to just fucking just dance. You can just tell when he's playing live. Finally, when the pandemic is over, everyone's gonna go in the pit and go nuts. I think maybe the rough around the edges aesthetic also might have to do with the fact that we're in the middle of a quarantine pandemic, and life kind of just feels a little rough around the edges. So maybe the music. Oh, and this album came out of fucking nowhere too. Like, it's just, what is going on with this album? It's cool. It's great. It feels like he put the least amount of effort into this album and then made like the best release he's made. In my opinion, I love it. It feels more authentic than his poppier stuff. But cool stuff, folks. Lo-fi, pop punk, noise pop with hardcore punk influences from Jeff Rosenstock, going a little bit more eccentric, making some great bangers, showing he still has amazing songwriting abilities. I'm giving this an 8.65 out of 10. Great rock album, great release. I loved it. Thank you for watching, folks. I will say some tracks, just some tracks, I think in the second half weren't as solid as all the other tracks, but frankly, folks, this album rocks. So, 8.65. Thank you for watching, folks. If you enjoyed this review, go ahead and like, subscribe to the Punk Revolution.